Right here, right here, right here.
I like both of them on my ears.
Let me get these on. Guys, we both have headphones this time.
I don't think I like...
You don't like being locked into a conversation? You like to be all willy-nilly in your own little fucking world? Just kidding. Oh, yeah.
Just have both of them on my ears.
I like that when I'm recording music, but whenever I'm we're talking to a person, I really enjoy... I feel like we're in the conversation, locked into it in our own little realm. I don't like the outside when I'm having a conversation.
So loud.
But guys, welcome back to another episode of Art of the Jam. This episode is number 94, and I want to start the episode with something very special. I want you guys. I want you guys to stick around for the end of the episode because I am going to. This episode comes out on the birthday of my late great puppy dog Janny, the Jam dog, and I'm going to release at the end of this episode a song I wrote for her, and you'll see it on an album soon. It's Space Camp. It's the one that I was telling you about. That's going to be the secret track, but I felt like this would be a good opportunity to release it in some facet before then, and so you kind of have to watch the episode in order to get it, but you'll get it on the album as well as eventually. But so the very end, even probably after the outro credits and whatnot, you'll get to hear a fun, fresh song. But on a lighter note, this is episode 94. Of Art of the Jam, and today we have for you our topic for today. It is. Let me readjust here. It's been a minute. Last time we did this, it was just a kind of a wrap up to the end of our tour, but so I'm kind of out of practice. I'm still trying to figure out what to fucking do here with everything, but just getting back in the swing is what I mean. But our topic for today, and I hope you guys stick around for it because it's a fun one, and I'm really excited for it because it's the icons and rock demigods, out-of-the-box thinkers, the sonic innovators, the independent or undiscovered, living their legend today while unknowingly waiting for their timeless fame or infamy of tomorrow. This is history happening now. But before we get there, and of course it's after the jam, so you have to wait and watch the jam or skip around if you want. I don't give a what you do with this episode. It's all there for you to do with what you will. But I have a question for you guys, and today's question is a little bit different vibe than most. This one I am not requesting an answer from you.
Oh, this is that one.
This is a question. I don't know what you mean by that because I've never actually said this one out loud.
Oh, no, I thought it was when we asked the audience the question, or did anybody give us any questions back?
Nobody did, but you know what? I think before we get into that, actually, I'm going to say this. I think it would be kind of swell for the 100th episode, which we're on 94, so we got 6 more episodes. If between now and then, if you guys want to submit a question to us, and maybe our 100th episode would be a Q&A kind of thing. I don't know if we're that far along, and we warranting a question and answer episode, but we would love to answer any questions about anything. It doesn't even have to be about the band or ourselves or our lives. It can literally be any kind of question, I guess, if whatever you see fit. But today's question, I request no answer from you guys. This one is for yourselves, and of course you can you can answer this if you'd like, but I'm not. I don't want you to feel obligated to answer this. This is something that I want you to think about on your own. But for today, our question to you, audience, is: what is something about yourself that you can't admit, but deep down, you know it's true? I will repeat. What is something about yourself you cannot admit, but deep down, you know it's true? Think about that. Dwell on it. Just really think that. Just really think hard for the good or the bad. Just enjoy that question and keep it to yourself. And if it is something that deep down you feel eventually you should share, uh, um, to be true to yourself, do it. Okay, I encourage you, but don't feel obligated to answer or answer that question on this show or in the comments or anything. But I will definitely talk to you about it if you really feel like the need to do so. But that being said, let's cue that intro. Doink. And we're back. Hell yeah. I hope that picked up on the mic. Let's do this.
Kinda. Oh, there it is.
And we're back. I'll just leave that all in. That'll be fun. But we're back from the intro. I hope you guys don't take that question too terribly. I guess is what I mean. But really, I mean, you normally this is where I thought this question would kind of stop up the episode, because normally we answer this question for ourselves, but I don't really request any answer to the question. So I guess I'll ask: is there anything about yourself that you can't admit, but deep down you know it's true? And you, obviously, too, same goes for you. You don't need to answer it if you don't want to.
I mean, honestly, that would be...
I'm gay, okay?
that would be more of like a thought. I had to sit on that one.
That's kind of why I didn't want an answer, is because I feel like that's something that everybody is like going to be like, holy shit, I don't know. I don't know anything about I feel like that's something, because when we're driving and, especially on long distances and stuff, I think about these things, and the road really has a way of filtering you in a way, and not filtering you in the way of like watching what you say and things like that. It has a way of like filtering you, like the toxins from your body. Like you almost, from my perspective anyway, it's like the road kind of like pulls the pieces of you that you don't like, and kind of like, and just leaves them behind. It's almost like it shaves the callus from your body rather than hardens you, if that makes sense. It makes you soft, and that's not a bad thing. I think, because
I'm already a huge pussy.
that's not even what I mean. I mean, it makes you vulnerable. It makes you open to life and love and laughter and having a good time with strangers, and like just connecting with people, and connecting with yourself, connecting with your bandmate. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just being soft is real to me. I think the people that find I feel like the people that really want to like harden themselves and callous themselves, and it's like that's no way to live. I mean, you're still. I'm just looking at being soft as from a different perspective. I think that it's dope. I don't even know how to explain it to you other than I feel good. I feel calm and quiet, and I enjoy it. I feel like there's not as much noise in my head because I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about anything. I don't know how to explain it. But, anyways, you have nothing left to say about that question, though?
No.
All right. Well, all right. I guess he's like, well, deep down, I'm a flaming homosexual. No. Well, there's truth to every joke, Space Camp. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
You're the one that said it. I didn't, but I'm just.
Well, I probably am. Barely.
I probably am. I'm not self-aware of my stupidity, but no, I'm just saying shit. You're not stupid. But if you think you are, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about yourself. You know what's kind of crazy is I've been doing that wrong my entire life, I think. I've been
I can't fucking see it, so I was like, you know what?
No, what's crazy about the French press too? Missed that. Usually I'm quick to the burp in the mic, but no, you're supposed to stir it. I had no idea.
What do you mean stir it?
Like before you press it down, like say you pour the water in there, and have you ever noticed like when you put the cap on there after you pour it, it's kind of like hard to press down. Well, if you actually before you put it on there, if you get like I got a big long skewer, and I just stirred it, and then I put it on, it just popped right on there, and it turned a different color and everything. Like it turned like a light, like foamy brown, which it does most of the time anyway, but like a really light foamy brown. And I was like, I feel like that's what it's supposed to look like. Like whenever
You've been doing it wrong the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, just forgetting a step. I guess not really, like, doing it wrong, but yeah, forgetting a step to the whole process. Because when you get, like, bean to cup at, like, not Pilot, where's the fucking Loves? Loves or, like, Casey's, whenever it's done, it has that light layer of, like, light brown foam on the top.
Right.
It's like that. It's beautiful, and it makes me, it's just so visually enticing, and I'm glad that I figured that out. But today's album of the week, I will go ahead and say that I'm pretty sure I have showed this one before, but it's Klaatu.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure you have to.
I definitely have. I know I have, and I wanted to use it again because it had actually more to do with this episode than the last time. I think the last time I was like, I like Klaatu. It's a fun album. Cool guy stuff on the album. But this time it actually has a little bit to do with the topic because later we are, I don't want to give anything away, but part of my whole shtick today is a mystery band, and this band, back when they were released, they were thought to be fake or imposters, and possibly the Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a huge ordeal where they thought that because it came out, I'm pretty sure after the Beatles broke up, and so they thought that the Beatles were like secretly reunited, and they were now Klaatu, and I always liked the name too because Klaatu is the name of the alien from the day the Earth stood still, but and I think that's where they got it because Klaatu is kind of a peculiar and unique name. But it's got dope songs. Like I love that fucking Dr. Marvello song, and oh my god, Anus of Uranus, and calling occupants of interplanetary craft. That's a great song too.
Planetary crack.
Occupants of interplanetary.
They keep you up for months.
Interplanetary crack. Yeah, dude, that's a great song. I kind of want to listen to that later. But yeah, they were thought to be this like fake band or this like Beatles-esque imposter band or something, and I don't know. I thought it was great, and I'm pretty sure I found that album and on like our first, I don't even know if we were on tour. I think it was the one where we got like rerouted like 10 hours to Topeka or some shit. But we were in like Indiana or something, or I don't even remember. It's where I also got. It's the same town that I got the 2 Jeff Beck records in, and well, Blow by Blow, Jeff Beck.
You know how I guess this would kind of fit. I refound a band, and they were one of the first bands that I saw live because they opened up for Middle Class Rhett and Chevelle, and I completely fucking forgot about them. And also,
Is it that Person band?
No, they're called Janice.
Oh, Janice.
So I just thought that was kind of ironic too.
Jane Ice.
Yeah, but they only 3 albums, and like I don't think they're together anymore. And they're actually really good albums, but not your cup of tea. But it was like holy shit, like. Because I don't know, out of the blue, I just, like, remembered the name of the band. Because I've been trying to figure it out for years. And it was like, bink! I was like, oh, fuck!
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Chevelle and who'd you say?
Middle Class Rhett.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
It was in 2012. It was in Rolla. Because they would do that St. Patrick's Day parade thing every year, and they would like throw like free concerts, and it was one of those.
Huh. I'm pretty sure. What was it? I'm pretty sure that band Middle Class Rut was in Lancaster when we were there.
Really?
Yeah, because they were like that one guy and that girl were trying to get us to stay and go to that festival because they were having a festival the next day, and there was like big band like fuck. Yeah, but I was like, this is a scary place, so I don't. No,
I love Middle Class Rhett, like so much.
It was one of those bands, like like not that their sound or their genre has any likeness, but like that type of name, like Middle Class Rut or like Gym Class Heroes,
right.
Or you know what I mean, like the 3-word fucking beat.
And they're definitely like when it comes to like duos, they're probably one of my biggest inspirations.
Oh yeah,
they just like because they put out so much sound too as well, you know?
Right?
And it's just like, oh fuck, being able to be a part of a duo in that same category is just fucking, it's neat.
Yeah, I've always been akin to the 2-piece. I've always felt most comfortable in it, and so that's kind of neat. I didn't know you talked about it before, but I guess I never really like realized that Middle Class Rut was a 2-piece.
Yeah, because the guitar.
Is it just drummer and guitar?
But the weird thing about the guitar player, they both sing, so
right.
They'll go back and forth on that. But the guitar player will like surround himself with like pianos and synthesizers, and he'll like have a bass sit next to him and shit. Like,
so he's kind of like. It's kind of like a loop artist, but not a loop artist.
Yeah, but they're fucking wild live.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
And full energy. Like, there's so much energy.
I can get down with that. But, so, hard segue here. I only got 2 of them today, but today, this is the segment of the show that we like to call Phantom Sam and the Fictions. This is the segment of the show where over the course of the week, or in this case, 3 weeks probably, that one or if not both of us come up with a few fictitious band names, and we discuss what genre they would play, what real-life band they would open for, or what bill they would be on, what act they'd feature for, all sorts of fucking shit, that, whatever, and what have you. But I only have 2 today. You don't have any, probably? I didn't want to assume, but I
kind of have one, but it's weird because AG says it all the time, but it has my name in it. But it's like, I don't know, it makes me feel weird having my own name in it. I mean, she's the one that came up with it.
Well, shit, maybe we should have her on sometime and she present it to the segment. That'd be kind of funny, actually, have her on randomly. Or for any occasion. I don't know what occasion other than Valentine's Day, but that's another light years away. But, I mean, if you want, if she... okay, I can't say that because there's a lot of band names that Nichelle comes up with and I present on the show. It's just But if you want to share it, you can.
I'll just, it's because it's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, let's, since I got 2 and you got 1, we'll sandwich yours in the middle here. So, fictitious band name number 1, Recovering Mormon. Yikes. Recovering Mormon. What do you think genre they would play? Recovering Mormon.
Black metal.
They do. They either sound like they would play exactly what you'd think they'd play.
Cradle of Filth.
Well, no, like, what I mean is it's like they would play exactly what you would imagine like Recovering Mormon to play, or the exact polar extreme of like death hardcore, what have you. So I could see Recovering Mormon. I do, yeah. It'd be like black metal, like they don't scream, but they don't sing either. It's like a low growl, almost like Marilyn Manson type of thing, but like I don't even know how it would
they just
compare
use
to.
the rubber chickens.
Doesn't a band already use that? Pretty sure there's a band that uses the rubber chickens.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
I mean, I mentioned last time there was a band that uses a parrot that just screams into a microphone. But no, yeah, Recovering Mormon, like black metal, low growl type of lead vocal. No, not even like that. Like they still say words. You just can't tell what the fuck they're saying. And I'm trying to think of who, like almost like Rammstein in a way. I feel like we've ditched Guar, and now I just keep referencing
Rammstein. Just like
Rammstein.
completely stop saying it.
What, Guar?
Yeah, it was like from now on.
Yeah, it is what it is. Guar's still a staple in music, in the zeitgeist there of music. So I don't want to like ban the word from the show, but yeah, Guar is. Who was I? Somebody the other day I mentioned Guar. As me and Michelle, we were in the Walmart and we mentioned Guar. Oh man, it's beside the point because I don't remember the story, so it's not going to be weird. But it ended with us talking about spraying like fake semen and piss on people, but because that's what they do. That's what Rammstein, for instance, they had a video in live shows where he would have a strap on that would squirt shit out of it, and he would just spray the audience with it. It's fucking weird. But, they don't call it, shock rock for nothing. So, yeah, shock rock and shit like that. Recovering Mormon, I feel like, would kind of fit in shock rock, maybe, now that I think about it. That would be... I don't know what they would do that was shocking, though. Maybe, like...
Shock people.
They were
don't touch the rail.
Quite literally electrifying. Yeah. No, they would have electrified, like, child effigies. Like, I don't even know. Now I don't want to like bash the Mormon religion, but I think it'd be funny to have like they would have like child dolls on stage that they would like burn and light on fire and shit. In the name of Joseph Smith, they would do it. So, yikes. No, actually, I came up with that one because the guy from Bruce Lee and oh shit, I don't want to say it, but I already did. But the guy in one of the bands from Salt Lake City, I was talking to him and I was like, "Hey man, I know this is like the Mormon capital of the world, and but like, what is like most people actually Mormon here, or is it just like, you know, just a weird statistic or what have you?" And he's like, "Well, I was brought up in it." And I was like, "You're Mormon?" He's like, "I'm a recovering Mormon." And I was like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah,
like,
dude.
what
does that even mean?
Well, the way he described it is that in Salt Lake City, you were either a Mormon, were a Mormon, or raised Mormon, or escaped Mormonism, or what? Not that you would need to escape. I don't know enough about Mormonism to like say like, oh, you should escape Mormonism, or You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to like dig myself in a hole because I don't know much about Mormonism other than that people, just like any other religion, have totally fucking fucked it up in some way, shape, or form in some sect of the world at some time. So, but yeah, he was like, I'm a recovering Mormon. And I was like, I wanted an explanation, but he never gave me one. So,
I guess you could Google it.
yeah. And well, Google why this guy's. I can't.
Well, Google what does it mean for a recovering Mormon?
I don't think that means
or
anything.
Like how do you become a recovering Mormon, or like just shit like that?
I don't think it was like a real thing. I think he was just saying it like
Oh.
I'm like a recovering heroin addict or something. Like I'm a recovering Mormon. Like meaning, I mean, just like in recovery of a drug addiction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, he was Mormon and now he's not. And he's still dealing with the trauma and aftermath of being a Mormon. You know what I mean? I just assumed that's what it was, but yeah, recovering Mormon. They'd play low growl fucking black metal, and they would burn child effigies and shock people quite literally on stage. Yeah, don't touch the rail or you might get shocked. But fictitious man named number 2, Space Camp.
Shane and the Dirty Mirrors.
I can only imagine why. I'm just gonna go out here and say this. I've been in your house. I've been in your old apartment with Clay. I
Dirty mirror.
I think I know what she means.
No, it's not. It's not just my mirror. It's just like I'll take pictures, and then.
Oh, you're one of those. Yeah.
But like every time I take a picture, it's always a dirty mirror, and she's like, "Why is it always dirty?"
His dirty mirrors follow you, I think. You are quite literally a dirty mirror. But no, that's not weird because there's plenty of.
It's just my name.
Yeah. The Dirty Mirrors is would be a great band name actually. The Dirty Mirrors. But you're one of those dudes, I think. The Dirty Mirror selfie. Do what?
I think it's just I don't know how to clean a mirror.
I mean, it's just like a window. Just use Windex. Glass
and
cleaner.
a newspaper.
Well, yeah. Yeah, dude.
Never understood that, but it worked.
I went to go clean the fucking van yesterday, and I get to the fucking place. I literally start vacuuming, and then it just starts pouring rain. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm done here. I was there for literally maybe 20 minutes, and 10 of those minutes were trying to figure out how the fuck all of this shit works, because it was at that club car wash. And so
that fancy one?
Yeah. Because I was like, ooh, this will be a fun little solo adventure. Like, how does this fucking shit work here? And I figured it out, but then I literally started, and it fucking started fucking pouring. But yeah. So, meaning I didn't even get to the windows. I was going to clean the windows and actually fucking deep clean them and shit. I guess you can't really deep clean a window, but, you know, you can clean them coarsely, and that would be not too coarse. You don't want to scratch the glass, but and I didn't have any.
That was another scratch the glass.
Do what?
That band name right there.
Scratch the glass? No, that's Dirty Mirror's first single.
Scratch the glass.
Yeah, Scratch the Glass by the Dirty Mirrors. I actually like that. I feel like they would. But if say we take your name out of it, your name doesn't matter. Leave your name in, give or take, whatever.
Honestly, kind of like
just the Dirty Mirrors.
Yeah.
Either way, even whether your name's there or not, say the Dirty Mirrors. I feel like they would play. Like, I feel like it would just be like psychedelic blues rock.
That's exactly.
It'd be very. Yeah. It would be like almost like Doorsy, like just like Doorsy blues.
I definitely
but with some wahs and stuff.
Kind of it reminds, like the name of it reminds me of Aaron Cam a little bit. It had like a little bit of that reggae blues vibe to it as well.
I suppose so. I don't.
I don't know.
I wasn't thinking reggae, but I guess if it fits in there, I mean, you know, it's all part of the same little
Yeah.
realm of things. But um, no, yeah, fucking the Dirty Mirrors, like just psychedelic blue. Like I would just say if there's gonna be like reggae and blues and all that, it's like I feel like you should just it would just be a rock band that does whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and that shit, they'll open up for Aaron Cam and the One Drops. Aaron Cam will be because Aaron Cam is a national act, but he's not like A list. So he's the feature act. He's the middle act. Opener is the Dirty Mirrors. Who do they headline for? Ooh, I would say I don't know, like fucking
Psychedelic porn crumpets.
yeah, or now you got me thinking reggae though. So I'm thinking like who's that? Like fucking like Sublime or something. I don't know. Fuck.
Or 311.
Yeah, I was gonna say 311, but that's also the police code for child pornography.
That is true.
So think about that. Rethink your love for 311 if you're out there and you're 311 fans. That's weird.
That's one of those one of those one of those things that you separate.
For sure.
You know.
I don't even know if that's what.
Because one of my favorite albums by them is I think it was Soundcheck, and it was The Year I Was Born. So
right.
It's also
It's
come original. Gotta come original.
I honestly heard that 311 is the number 311, not the band, is the code for child pornography, the police code. But I don't know if that's like a universal thing, and I doubt. I'm gonna say this, not that I doubt, but I hope that 311 didn't name.
It's fucking same.
They didn't do that because of the child pornography thing, which I probably
has it always been that?
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert on anything, so I don't even know how true any of this is. So I'm gonna actually look that up and maybe fact check myself before I say it ever again. So just keep that in mind, audience. But fictitious band name number 3, Armchair Occultist. Heard it on a podcast the other day. This guy was talking about how he was, he was talking about the occult and like hermeticism and like magic and shit. And he was like, "But I'm just an armchair occultist." And I was like, "That's a dope band name. I think that's cool, Armchair Occultist." I feel like they would play like black punk.
How would that sound?
I don't know. I just kind of made it up.
It's just punk music, but it's just like.
No, okay, fine. No, I don't want to say that. I want to say black punk in the way of like almost like the Misfits, or like gothy punk.
So like London, like British.
For
British takeover.
Well, I mean, you mean British invasion?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, the British invasion was the '60s, and I don't want to.
I think that was like to me that when I think of Misfits, I think of that. Getting wet over here.
Huh? Oh yeah, it's condensating pipes. Yeah, this is a very low budget show, and by low budget I mean no budget. No, the Misfits were definitely not part of that era at all, though.
Really?
The Misfits were like
the 80s.
Yeah, probably 80s, because that's the Misfits is led by Danzig.
Yeah.
And that was, I'm fairly certain he was in I'm pretty sure he did the Misfits was before Danzig. And yeah. So I don't think but I get what you're saying though. The British invasion type of punk music, like the Sex Pistols and shit.
Big ass spiked hair and shit.
Yeah. Like the plaid pants with the fucking suspenders that you don't wear. You just let them hang.
Yeah, with the ragged old Converses and
Combat boots.
oh,
You're wrong there.
Oh.
No, no. There's at least one dude with the combat boots on. I feel like, and it might.
They're this tall.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
But they also wear like robes and shit. You got to go with the occult. You have to throw in the occult and magic aspect of it too. So they would be like a mixture between these like goth punks, British punks, but also like there might be a woman in there somewhere, like on the keys or something, and
spit on you.
she might do that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They got to. I think that's a punk thing. They just
she spit on me.
That could be their first fucking single.
Spit on me.
Yeah, spit on me. I don't know. You never know. But yeah, they'd be like this weird goth punk, like occulty vibe. I feel like, and they would. I feel like for some reason, they would accidentally be booked to open for the Smashing Pumpkins. I don't know why I thought of that, but I feel like it's one of those mix-ups. They're like, hey, the Armchair Occultists, they're going to open up for Smashing Pumpkins, but they didn't listen to them at first, so when they get there, they're like, what the fuck, this is a nightmare. Who hired this band to be here?
Yeah, dude.
Because they're nothing. The only reason I say that is because Smashing Pumpkins in their live shows are very occulty now. Like he wears like these weird black robes and hats, and he looks like a fucking wizard. And there's like candles and shit.
I did not know that. That's kind of cool though.
They do a lot of weird shit now. Because I don't think they make any more. I don't think they make music anymore. They just tour what they've made, which is kind of cool, I guess. But they're like doing like weird stage shows and stuff. But
like their older stuff was really good.
I'm not a huge fan of Billy Corgan though. I think he's neat.
Heavier. They were heavier.
Yeah. And they're not like today is the greatest. I do like that.
XYX was probably my favorite fucking song by them.
I'm not well versed in them at all. I know very.
Paul's actually the one that got me into them. Caesar's dad.
Yeah, I always kind of related them to the Pixies for some reason. I don't know why. Like they're kind of in that same era and vibe. I love the Pixies though. The Pixies are fucking. Throw the Pixies in there. They're opening up for the Pixies. They're all on the same bill. The Pixies are fun. The guy's name is Black Francis. So. That's black enough to be a part of Armchair Occultist and the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm pretty sure they've probably played together in real life before. The Pixies Pixies. They dropped the, or it's some sort of Mandela effect. I'm not sure, but Pixies and Smashing Pumpkins, I'm sure they've probably played together throughout the years in real life. So that's not kind of unheard of, but like have you ever heard the song "Hey" by the Pixies? Been trying to meet you. Must be a devil between us or whores in my head. Dude, it's such a good song. That was one of my introductions to the Pixies, and I was like, other than "Where Is My Mind," everybody knew that song, but "Hey," and then, but it's crazy because you can go from like "Hey," which is kind of like dark tone, to like, then you go to, sorry to go on the Pixies spiel, but then you go to something like, "Here Comes Your Man," ding 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 bong, ding 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 bom 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 bom, and it's like this just like fun surf song. Interesting. But there you have it, folks. That concludes the segment of the show, Phantom Sam and the Fictions. We'll do a hard segue. I do have a segment here for that we like to call Phantom Sam and the Buddhas of the Bathroom Wall. And
I haven't done this.
Actually, today is a double. They are from the same baño, and that's Spanish for bathroom.
Sound like venue. You just put the B on.
This is from the same venue baño, and venue baño. No, this is Phantom Sam and the Buddhas of the Bathroom Wall, and today we have a double header for you.
The banyo wall.
We got Buddhas from the Banyo Wall. It's actually suitable because we just came from like San Pedro and Mexican communities. So yes, this is Buddhas. This is Phantom Sam and the Buddhas of the Banyo Wall. And today we have two from the same one, and they kind of the handwriting and the color were different, but I feel like they were akin to each other. Like the second one or the first one, whichever one was first, seen the other one and added to it. So I will put it right here. But the first one, the first one says, "Don't kill yourself." Or sorry, YouTube, don't unalive yourself. I'm not gonna cut that. I don't give a shit. But I will go ahead and say this, that yes, if you're dealing with any mental issues and you really, you need to talk to somebody, feel free to call the hotline under here. I will put it again. I did it in another episode. I'll put the hotline below. Don't kill yourself, guys. It's okay. More so it's not okay, but it's okay to not be okay. I said this before. I say it again, and honestly, you can talk to either one of us if you really want to. We're not qualified, but
we've definitely been through some shit.
Yeah, and we have open ears. So the next one is, let me reset. The next one is, don't forget you matter.
Ooh.
Do not forget that you matter. And that concludes Phantom Sam's Buddhas of the Banyo Wall. They were both in the same bathroom, and it was in the bathroom of... normally I don't disclose the venue
one
bathroom.
We were talking
no, it was in Lancaster. It was at the British.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see any though. How did you see?
Dude, when I go in there, I spend a good amount of time in the bathroom.
I didn't even see those, and I was in that bathroom a few times.
I go.
Oh, there was more than one toilet, was there?
There was the one that was over by where we played, but the one that I found those in was the normal one that we originally were going into.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, do not off yourself, guys, and please don't forget you matter. Or you can flip those around. Don't forget you matter. And don't kill yourself. There you go. There you have it, guys. But seriously, take that to heart. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, or especially by their own hand. So don't forget you guys matter, all right? I will go after that. Normally I will do the weekend recap, but we have had the weekend off. We just got off of tour. If you didn't see the last episode, it was a 4-hour. I call it a 4-hour special, but it really wasn't really like a special. It was just fucking 4 hours long, and so I figured, hey, this would be nice to be a special. 4 hours on 4th of July. Enjoy. There's not even a jam in it, which normally the jam is what makes it so long. Well, that's not true, but...
Surprised it was even that fucking long.
Yeah, it was funny because we were like, all right, let's our first, like, each segment, I was like, let's keep it under 10 minutes. The first one that we ever did was like 6 minutes and 45 seconds, which was perfect. Then every one after that was like 45 minutes long, and so I was like, all right, well...
We just kept talking.
Well, we didn't have anything to do, dude. You know? It was like, whatever, but, I watched that, Tim Robinson movie, though, that Friendship. It was awful, actually.
Was it?
Yeah. It was literally like
I hate when they make the trailer way better than the movie.
The trailer was literally almost everything funny about the movie. Yeah, and then they just, when you watch the movie, it's like all of those funny things from the trailer, and they just put empty shit in between all of those moments. They really need to stop making multiple trailers for movies, because then that's just giving more away, and they need to stop putting so much in a trailer. I can't stand that, because it's a big thing in Hollywood nowadays. I feel like is like they'll put so much into the trailer that whenever you watch the movie, like I said, it's like all the good parts you've seen in the trailer that made you want to watch the movie, but everything in the movie is just between those moments sucks and is just empty and pointless.
Sometimes
Like,
I don't even watch the trailer, and I just wait until it comes out, and it's just
yeah, but like,
so I don't want to ruin it, you know?
right. But that's the way it shouldn't be like that, though. You know what I mean? You should want to watch the movie because of the trailer. Because how else do you know the movie's there without seeing a preview for it? You know what I mean? It sucks that you have to not like you have to just stumble onto a movie now. You can't see a preview at another movie and be like, oh shit, dude, I wonder like all of these open-ended mysteries that I have to go see this movie. It's like I've seen enough just by this trailer. But I also watched the movie Sinners. Have you heard about this movie?
I think is that the one with Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I've heard about it, but
it's
is it a horror movie?
It's in the Jim Crow South of the 1930s or what have you. I think it's in anyways, it's in the Jim Crow South and in Mississippi, but it's like it's supposed to be like a social commentary, basically like like it's pretty much the war between the natives, the blacks, and then the Ku Klux Klan. Like do you know what the Jim Crow South is? Right, it's like post-slavery where they were still hanging like black people and stuff like that, but throw vampires into the mix.
What the fuck?
It's fucking dope, dude. But
it's like Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer, dude. Have you ever watched that fucking movie?
Yeah, but this
was fucking wild.
Yeah, but this isn't like crazy. This is like, I don't know, but it's so good because it mixes like old blues music and like bluegrass music and into this whole like it's almost what I got from it is like the whole like Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil and stuff like that. It's like the opening of the movie is basically talking about how music has the power to heal people but attracts evil. And I immediately was sold on it because I was like, there's no, like, you think about this, there's so many, and this is beside the movie. Music is such a powerful thing, right? Music has the power to make us happy when we're sad, or sad even when we're happy, or it amps us up. It can heal you in so many different ways, but it attracts evil. There's so many assholes involved in the music industry. There's so many like people ripping each other off here and there. Like, we don't really see that because we're not like up to that. We've kind of dealt with it here and there with like venues and things like that, and like really shitty, not shitty bands as in like performance or talent wise, but like shitty people in bands. Like, it's just it's the music I'm realizing is quite literally the epitome of it's so hard to explain now. It's the black and the white. It's the good and the evil. It's like the perfect representation of life and the forces of nature. It literally, I believe that music is quite literally the force of nature. It's wild. I don't know, that quote at the beginning of the movie really got me like obviously in the movie it's represented quite literally, you know what I mean? Like it's about these two brothers, these twin brothers that go into they're working for the mob, and they go down to Mississippi to open a juke joint, which a juke joint is just an old term for a music venue, and it serves food and drinks, and everybody gets drunk, and they fucking play blues music and stuff. And they go down to the Mississippi Delta to open up this juke joint, and like they buy it from the the leader of the KKK, and like it's really weird because it's a black brother, two twin brothers. Michael B. Jordan plays two dudes, and
oh, twins.
yeah, and they're twins. They're called the Smokestack twins. One's name is Smoke, the other one's name is Stacks. It's kind of funny, but I think it's a homage to Smokestack Lightning, the Howlin' Wolf song. But they these fucking it's I don't even remember my train of thought here, other than they go down and they start to open up this juke joint, and like then the they don't even explain where the vampires come from. They just show up. It's just one dude. He shows up and then starts fucking biting people all willy nilly. But it's kind of weird. But that's what I'm saying is they represent the healing power of music, like it's bringing the community together. But then it attracts this evil force. It's like the original group of vampires are these like white people that play, like one's on the banjo, one's on the guitar, and one's the violin. I don't fucking know. I don't remember what she plays, but they're like trying to get in the club, but they're white, and so they won't let them in because it's a black club. And so it all starts this big swirl of things, but it's vampirism. It's fucking weird.
Dude, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, man.
I've been seeing it. I just got Disney back, so I'm like back on Star Wars.
Yeah. The movie I don't know if you pay attention to movie reviews or anything like that, but a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes is wild. Which there's only like one movie I can think of off the top of my head that got 100%, and that was Get Out, the Jordan Peele movie.
That was a fucking crazy movie.
Which it deserves that, but
that was probably one of his best ones.
Yeah, but Sinners, dude, watch that if you ever get a chance. But
I think I'm going to.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
One of those things.
They called it a cinematic masterpiece, and I do believe quite literally that there's a scene in there. Actually, I don't want to give that away. There's a scene in there that represents history of music and black culture that had like woven into the history, and it's just a really cool scene. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch it. But that being said, guys,
Netflix, right?
No, it's I think it's Prime or Paramount. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up and I'll let you know. But guys, with that being said, let's let's get to the jam portion of the show.
We did. That was the sound. That was the sound test.
Dude, I smacked my fucking fingers so hard before that. But
No.
dude, there was some fucking
there's
deep
some
fucking breaks in there too. Like I was like, fuck.
I'm really hoping that because that was just the sound check to see if this new angle worked, and I'm really hoping that neither one of these is too loud for the other. So, guys, in case this worked,
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the jam. Let's get back to the show.
And we're back from the jam portion of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know why I bent it the other way.
I don't know either. It doesn't matter which way you bend it. It just it
Still
is
makes
what
the
it
same
is.
sound.
It may be a little different, but not enough to notice. I don't know. Sound is a fickle thing. That being kind of a partial subject of the topic of the show, but guys, I hope you enjoyed the delicious sweetness of the delectable purple center of the show, that being the jam. We have a topic for you today, and our topic today, I will repeat, is the icons and rock demigods, out-of-the-box thinkers, the sonic innovators, the independent or undiscovered, living their legend today while unknowingly waiting for their timeless fame or infamy of tomorrow. This is history happening now. I'm going to start. And this is kind of a weird little eclectic thing because it's no longer these subjects, and the reason I said the out of the box thinkers, sonic innovators, independent and undiscovered, and I also said the timeless fame or infamy, is because these are three different things, and two of them aren't even bands. One of them is a band, and two of them are innovations in sound. But our last one, you may have heard in the grapevine, online, whatever, what have you, about this particular subject, and it might be the most evil fucking thing to ever come to music, and we'll get there. But History Happening Now, Volume 1. I'm going to say, and I mentioned this to you on the road, is I think we are in the midst of probably one of the most important bands that ever existed, and and they're happening now, and that's what actually inspired this topic in that band being King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And I'll go ahead and I'll start in on. I just have a few facts, which being what I consider, why I consider them to be a historical band. They just haven't been around long enough to be considered part of history yet, but I do believe that they are important enough to be considered so. King Gizzard, little background info. King Gizzard is an Australian rock band that formed out of Melbourne, Victoria in 2010. Consisting of Stu McKenzie, Joey Walker, Michael Kavanagh, Lucas Harwood, Cook Craig, Ambrose Kenny Smith, and one former member, that being Eric Moore, which I think is kind of crazy because out of all the time they've been together, they only have one former member, and normally a band that's been around for so long, like this band, for instance, has been around for, since like 2018, and there's, not a crazy amount of former members, but more than just one. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy. Normally they drop like flies in a band like that, especially when it's so. They seem like such a demanding band when it comes to their workflow and their and things like that. But they're best known for exploring many different genres of music, such as surf, garage rock, psychedelic rock, jazz fusion, folk, metal, progressive rock, synth pop, and even microtonal music, along with staging wild live shows and cultivating a massive discography over a relatively small amount of time compared to most musical artists of our time. And that's a lot of genres, I feel like, especially for one band. Like, just coming up with they just seem like they're technically considered a rock band, but they just do whatever the fuck they want to do. They're like, hey guys, I'm feeling kind of jazzy today. Let's write a fucking album. You know, hey man, I have this little finger picky thing on the acoustic guitar. Let's make a bluegrass album or some shit. Like they can just do whatever they want, and they're kind of inspiring because I feel like you know, a big band like that, and with such a large amount of output, it's like you don't have to. Like I can't. I'm starting to get to that point where people, like I've always hated the question when people like ask you what kind of music you play, or like I hate asking people to like what music they play. I think it's wrong for people that you shouldn't put yourself in a box. Is what I'm getting at. I don't think uh, they quite literally did the opposite. They're like, hey, let's just chop ourselves up into little pieces and put a little bit in each genre. Like we can do whatever we want, and I enjoy that. But many they even have a thing, and many releases are based around a concept of their own, with a whole cast of characters and lyrical themes that include Han to Yumi, a confused cyborg, gamblers, cowboys, Australian footballers, people vultures, balrogs, lightning gods, flesh eaters, sages, and spacefaring eco-rebels. This concept was deemed the Gizverse by members of the King Gizzard subreddit. So not only do they have this large amount of output, that they've quite literally, with their lyrics and sound, have created an entire alternate universe besides this one, and it's just kind of a crazy little thing. It's like how do you do that? Well, how you do? It's kind of crazy. I don't know. They were nominated for many awards over the years, winning a good amount of them. To name a few: Best Independent Hard Rock Album by Air for "I'm in Your Mind" Fuzz and "Murder of the Universe." "Murder of the Universe," in my opinion, was one of the greatest albums that was ever created. My favorite of theirs, other than Omnium Gatherum, but that's beside the point. Best Hard Rock Metal Album by Aria for "Nonagon Infinity" and "Chunky Shrapnel." Environmental. This one blew my mind for some reason. Environmental Music Award for "If Not Now, Then When." I don't even know what the Environmental Music Award is, but it sounds like they're fucking saving the environment with their music somehow. I don't know if that's what that means or not, but it might just be whatever. But Best Band and Best Live Act by Music Victoria Awards. International Live Achievement by the National Live Music Awards. And Stu and Joey both won Best Live Guitarist, Stu in 2020 and Joey in 2023. So not only is their band operating on such a high capacity, winning awards left and fucking right, but them as individual musicians are also winning awards, which is fucking dope to me. I love that. I don't, you know, especially like the two guitar players. I don't know. I enjoy that they're both getting their recognition, and I don't even know them, but I'm so fucking happy for them. But this is the wildest. From 2012 to present day, they've managed to release 27 studio albums, 3 EPs, 56 live albums, 4 compilation albums, 67 singles, 68 music videos, and 1 remix album. That's not the craziest part, though. 5 of their studio albums were released in 2017 alone. So normally, one band, probably with one band will come out with, on average, 1 to 2 albums a year, give or take. Most of the time, traditionally, I feel like a band will come out with 1 album a year, and they'll tour that year on that album, and then they'll rinse and repeat. And maybe an EP or whatnot, and every album has a single or whatnot. But they released 5 studio albums in one calendar year, which is insane. And that's why I think, and they just continue to do that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, not to like throw shade or whatnot, but 5 albums in 1 year, but then they didn't release an album for like 2 years, and then they released like 3 albums the next year. So it's like they're not like consistent, but it's like the fact that they'll just be like, we're gonna release 5 albums and then just chill for a year, but then when we get back to it, we'll release like 3, and it's like they're just so loose and free flowing, and that's why I think that they're should be considered, even in the next 10 to 20 years, they should be considered part of fucking history. It's a wild band with a wild work ethic. And even, this is what's crazy, and I always mention this too, is that, like, we're a two-piece band, and it's, people are like, hey, come jam, blah, 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 blah. And then you hear, like, some bands that we play with, they're like, yeah, I'm in 5 bands and have 2 day jobs. And it's like, how? Because we're in one band and you have a day job, and it's like, we have the show and stuff like that, but it's like, it's so difficult to even keep up with what we're doing. How do you like, but this is what I'm saying is, this band, there's quite a few members, and they've came out with this massive discography over the years, but then all of these guys are also in bands as well, like other bands like the Murlocs. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. That's just some dudes from King Gizzard, and it's like they all have like their side things too, and it's like, what the fuck, how are you, man? Like, they have to literally be like not sleeping. I feel like there's a little bit of meth involved. No, I'm kidding, but they definitely not. But yeah, man, that's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. If you haven't heard them, fucking listen to them, because they're just a wild, eclectic little group, and not even a little group. I don't know why I said little. They're a big group of people. There's like 3 guitar players and 2 drummers. I don't know if they still have 2 drummers, but there was 2 drummers for a long time. I know Murder of the Universe had 2 drummers, and that was crazy to see, because when they were live, they played facing each other, like in the back, and that was the coolest fucking thing ever. And they're like perfectly on time with one another, and then like it's crazy to see. But that's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, guys. When I said also Sonic Innovators, I came across this article and this video. Nichelle actually sent it to me, and when I first seen it, I was like, this is bullshit. I don't know how. Because you can't be too sure about videos and things you see nowadays, because it could be AI or fake or whatever, fake news, huge. But that was a poor impression. But you get what I'm saying. But I did my research into this, and I'm going to go ahead and give credit to rareformaudio.com, because I pulled most of this information off of this article. But it was a short, sweet, and straight to the point, so I wanted to just go with it. And so, just giving credit to where credit is due, rareformaudio.com. This innovation, and you may have seen this if you in your doom scroll, but it's a sound extinguisher. So it uses bass frequency. It's a gun. It's a fucking giant gun that shoots bass frequency out and extinguishes fires.
That's cool.
Okay. Seth Robertson and Viet Tran, 2 engineering students from George Mason University in Virginia, designed a fire extinguisher that uses sound waves to put out flames. The project started as a senior research assignment, but after extensive testing and prototyping, they successfully built a working device for around $600, which, that's like the price of a good bass guitar, like a decent one. That's crazy to me that it costs. I figured a sound extinguisher would cost way more money than $600, but they built it for $600. That doesn't mean that's what it's going to cost commercially. You know what I mean? Because obviously you got to, upsell. You know what I'm saying? Business. Fire needs 3 key elements to survive: heat, fuel, and oxygen. The principle behind this invention is to use sound waves to separate oxygen from the flame. Sound waves are pressure waves. They move air molecules back and forth, and at the right frequency, this movement disturbs the flame's structure and prevents it from accessing oxygen. Without oxygen, the fire simply dies out. While high-frequency sounds didn't have much effect, Robertson and Tran discovered that low bass frequencies, specifically between 30 to 60 hertz, were highly effective. These are the same deep bass tones you would hear in genres like hip-hop, dubstep, or drum and bass. So, imagine you're just... Dude, take some Molly, and you're just like... Duh. You're just shooting yourself in the fucking head with this gun. I wonder what that would do, actually. Because, you know, if you sit too close to a subwoofer, it rocks you a little bit. I wonder how this would work, or if it would just be the same.
Explode.
That's what I'm thinking. Because, you know, Hitler had the fucking sound gun that would render people unconscious, which I think is also a fucking insane invention that I should have mentioned. Well, this was in the 40s, but he had that fucking sound cannon that you would just shoot at an enemy and they would just be like, and they would just go unconscious. But it's kind of like that, I guess. But the prototype consists of 2 key components: an amplifier that generates low-frequency sound, and a collimator, a device that focuses sound waves to direct the pressure waves precisely at the fire. The result is a portable, non-destructive way to put out fires without leaving behind chemical residue or water damage. Right now, the device is most effective on small fires, such as grease fires in kitchens. However, its potential applications go far beyond that. The inventors believe that with further development, sonic fire suppression could be adapted for larger-scale use, such as fire suppression systems for buildings. An automatic system using sound waves could provide a clean alternative to traditional sprinklers. Let me stop there. Could you fucking imagine? Could you imagine, you know, like sprinklers but you're like just typing on your computer at your little desk job, and like somebody's like, fire, and then you just, and it just turns into a fucking rape. Dude. I mean, I know that's not how it is, but like that just sounds fun to me. I don't know. But oh man, I'd be starting fires all the time, man. You just go to work and you're like, today I'm gonna pop some Molly and I'm gonna start a fucking fire. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Spacecraft fire control. In low-gravity environments, chemical extinguishers can be challenging to use, making sound-based systems a promising alternative. You're in fucking space and this is happening now? Same thing, dude. How difficult would it be to get Molly to space? You know, wildfire man.
Elon?
Yeah. Order it up, Elon. Wildfire management. If the technology can be scaled up, it could offer a new method for fighting forest fires without the environmental impact of water or chemical retardants. Which, that'd be fucking dope, because I feel like fires are something we're all, not us, but like a lot of the country's been dealing with a lot of fucking wildfires and shit. I feel like, you know, it's about time we fucking revolutionize that shit, because we're just dumping water and chemical. I feel like you're just, with chemicals, I feel like you're just making it worse. Not so much like you're putting the fire out, but you're also fucking up the earth, maybe. Yeah, and I feel like just sound is the key to everything. I don't know. Sorry, vibrations, man. I just almost puked in my mouth. But I'm just kidding. I didn't. I just always like to say that. But no, I feel like vibrations, man. It's like that's what's crazy, is we're made of like it was basically saying that like sound waves or pressure waves, everything is compounding on everything all the time. We're all made of energy and vibration. So it's like, why aren't we looking at that more? Like to manipulate anything is sound and vibrations. Like, you know, it's like somatics and shit. Like the thing about you know, you put the sand on the vibrating plate, and then when you certain frequencies make it like complex geometric shapes. Same principle with like why we feel things when we hear certain frequencies or music or vibrations or whatnot. It changes the structure of what it's affecting. And it's like, why couldn't we? Why is it taking us this long to figure out that a certain frequency can make fire just go away?
Right.
It's like, why are we not doing that with more shit? Like, I don't know, maybe like a Nazi sound cannon or something. Why don't we bring that back? No, I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not a scientist. It's just sound is literally the most intriguing thing to me in the world, and I hope to see where it goes. But I will use that as my segue into this last topic, or this last piece of the topic, which is I hope this isn't where sound is going, because it fucking sucks, and I don't enjoy it one bit, because this is AI music. Specifically, if you've seen the articles that are going around, there was a band called the Velvet Sundown, which
yeah, it's AI.
it's a AI band, and I even put a little note for myself here to express that I didn't listen to them because I didn't want to give them the play. Okay? I didn't want to rack up their numbers. Even though I'm one guy, I'm not giving them that shit. That fucking sucks. This is I will give credit, obviously, where credit's due. This is from the Rolling Stone article by Brian Hyatt. But I kind of summarized it a little bit. It might be a tad word for word, but thank you, Rolling Stone's article. But there's this band, an AI band called the Velvet Sundown, who currently have over 900,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and they have officially admitted, I don't know how, well, the band itself didn't admit that they were AI, but obviously the guy who pressed the button saying create me a fucking AI band admitted that they are officially, in a new revision to their Spotify bio, what was obvious to experts and non-experts alike, their music is in fact AI generated. Okay. AI has already come for many, many jobs, and I feel like it's going to be a dark fucking world whenever AI comes for art. And they've already been kind of destroying visual art, and you know, they came for Michelle's job, now they're coming for ours. You know what I mean? It's kind of a dark subject, and it kind of greatly upsets me whether the music is good or not. You know what I mean? Because I imagine AI can create some dope music, I'm sure, because there's a lot of AI art, visual art out there that I've seen, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. And then Michelle will be like, yeah, too bad that's AI. And I'm like, I hate it then. Like, I hate it. If a robot made it and a human did not, I don't like it. Not one bit. Get it out of here. But the Velvet Sundown is a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction and composed, voiced, and visualized with the support of artificial intelligence. The band bio now reads, "This isn't a trick, it's a mirror, an ongoing artistic provocation designed to challenge the boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself in the age of AI." Which I I don't know how else to say this, but this is. He even said it isn't a trick, but it is. Like, and it's a horrible trick. I just don't feel like you even should have fucking. I don't feel like you even should have tried that. I feel like it's like. Do you understand? Okay, so I seen this video, and it's a guy who goes to like illegal exotic animal markets, and he basically said that it's not going to stop anything if I buy all these animals to save them. It's not going to change anything because they're just putting money in the pockets of the people that are illegally selling the exotic animals, and it's just making it spike and increasing the value, and basically it feeds the business of illegal exotic animal markets. I feel like, and he basically was like, the only way to actually change anything is to expose it, and that's why he doesn't buy anything. He just infiltrates them and films them and then releases it so everybody knows. This is kind of, in my opinion, and it's kind of a stretch, I will admit, but it's like to create an AI band to provoke and challenge the boundaries of music in the age of AI is kind of like buying animals from an illegal exotic market and expecting to save something. It's like you're not exposing anything. You're feeding this shit. You're tricking people by creating AI music. You should have just been like, did something to expose AI music rather than create AI music. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's just bullshit to me. But the band went viral and attracted extensive media coverage after emerging out of nowhere in June and appearing on popular Spotify playlists. They also inspired an apparent hoaxer using the name Andrew Freelon, who now says he impersonated the band on X and falsely claimed to be the spokesperson for the band in interactions with the media, including a phone interview with Rolling Stone. His elaborate, days-long hoax was aimed at testing the media, he claimed in a lengthy Medium post. Now that I'm reading that out loud, that has nothing to do with this, because it's just talking about a dude that posed as the spokesperson, so disregard that. But I will have to say, disclaimer, I do read all of this shit before I actually bring it to the show. It's just when I say it out loud, I realize if it just hits different when I say it out loud. So, and I fucking threw this together at 2 a.m. So, the Spotify bio goes on to say, all characters, stories, music, voices, and lyrics are original creations generated with the assistance of artificial intelligence, tools employed as creative instruments. Any resemblance to actual places, events, or persons, living or deceased, is purely coincidental and unintentional. Not quite human, not quite machine. The velvet sundown lives somewhere in between. So if a dude presses a button and he prompts it, hey, give me a band that does this, and give me a song that says this or does this, it's like, in your opinion, is there anything human about that other than the human being that presses the button or types the prompt?
No.
Because I feel like reading that where he's like, not quite human, not quite machine, the velvet sundown lives somewhere in between, it's like, that's not human at all. That's literally all machine and nothing in between. You're literally like I said, the only human thing about that is you're typing the words out on the computer, and then the computer is pretty much doing it for you. I don't think it counts as a creative tool. I just don't think so. I'm not a big fan of this. That's why I'm saying there's this is definitely history happening now, but it's like not good history. I mean, history is history, but this is infamous. I feel like if because seems like this is the way things are headed in as dark as it may seem. But Glenn McDonald, a former data alchemist for Spotify, told Rolling Stone earlier this week that the Velvet Sundown's popularity there is likely because the streaming service now accepts payments to boost playlist placement, while also moving away from human-driven playlist selections toward algorithms that can pick songs for recommendations based on characteristics of their audio. So, that takes another step into AI, is that Spotify, you can now pay for plays, which is kind of fucked up. Or not pay for plays, but essentially you're paying for to be on a playlist instead of earning it, which is fucked up. But that's a whole other episode, I feel like. Even though that's where we're headed. I know you've been able to pay for shit for a long time now, but that's just fucked up. I'd rather earn it, organically. And it's sad that I'm like, I don't know. I feel like raw music is on its way out, and it's kind of fucked. But yeah, and not only is AI bans on fucking Spotify playlists, but your playlist is based on algorithm, not human driven. So your playlist itself is AI, which is fucking crazy. There are good things about AI though, because I don't necessarily I don't not believe that a playlist should be AI, just because like it is kind of cool to like. I think it's weird whenever you're like saying something to somebody like, "Oh man, I would love to have McDonald's right now" or something, and then you see an ad for McDonald's and you're like, "Fuck, my phone is listening to me." And no, but like I do like sometimes the fact that like your phone does kind of show you some cool shit that you're actually interested in. Sometimes that's not bad. I don't think it should listen to you, but if it's based on like things you look at and things you're interested in, that's cool. But and that's what I'm saying, it can pick songs for recommendations based on the characteristics of their audio, meaning like obviously if you're into Khruangbin or Glass Beams, it's going to show you Arc de Soleil, which, or things like that, where it's like similar bands, like Lalam and shit. Like it'll show you things that you enjoy, which is cool. But this isn't about how cool AI is. This is about how shitty AI is. But as of last night, the Velvet Sundown is now at 1.1 million monthly listeners. That's more than most bands, which is fucked up. And this was kind of creepy. That kind of concludes the topic, but there's two little things that I said. One post by the band goes on to say, "They said we're not real. Maybe you aren't either." And they never responded with a follow-up. Which, I don't know why, but that fucking gives me chills. Because a robot said it. It's like, they said we're not real, but maybe you aren't either. Now I'm like in a spiral. I'm like, what if they are real? What if we're the AI? And like, we've been... Yikes. Oh man, that gives me a really crazy idea for something. But that's beside the point. The Atlantic, which is another news outlet, claims that maybe nobody cares if music is real anymore. What do you think of that? Nobody cares if music is real. Guys, I'm going to conclude this topic today with a little question. And if the Atlantic says nobody cares if music is real or not, why don't you tell me in the comments, do you care if music is real anymore? And where do you think art is headed? Let's have that conversation. Where do you think art is headed? A good place, a bad place, somewhere in between, whatever. Where's art headed for you? And that being said, guys, we're going to live with cause, and we're going to live with cause, and we're going to leave the results to the great law of the universe. We are going to pass each day in peaceful contemplation, patient, and all the while remaining present in our lives. Don't succumb to the AI. Get out there and live a real life. Enjoy your loved ones. Kiss your dumb shit dog. All that sort of shit that I say every time we end an episode. Space Camp.
And stay funky, y'all.
We're going to stay groovy, guys, and we're going to stay tuned for another episode of Art of the Jam. Without further ado,
We brought to you Art of the Jam.
Art of the Jams, dog. Thank you, guys. Stick around after this for the song that I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Thank you. Love you.
Dial tones, no notes, reach you through photos as if rituals with candles, as I stare at the mantle, replaying the same things in no sane way. I owned by the memories of us. I'm sold by remembering as much. I hold still the phone, even though it only drones on in dial tones, no notes. Your aura's in audio, and the static swallows me whole as I stare at the mantle, replaying that there's no safe from what God takes. I float with your echoes and dust, and I hope it moves where you've gone. I hold still the phone, even though it only drones on in dial tones, no notes. I reach you through photos as if rituals in candles, as I stare at the mantle, replaying the same things in no sane way. I'm owned by the memories of us, and I'm sold by remembering as much. And I hold still the phone, even though it only drones on in dial tones.
baby.